Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT, and tonight we will crown a new NXT champion. But first, hanging high above the ring is the North American Championship, and somebody is going to have to climb the ladder to take that championship down. Could it be Keith Lee? A fatal four-way ladder match to determine the first North American champion. It happens right now, and Keith Lee of course participated in the NXT Championship Tournament and was unfortunately knocked out by the glorious Robert Roode. Later on this evening, Robert Roode will compete in the final of the NXT Championship Tournament, taking on the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. Those two superstars are our finalists. That matchup happens later on. It is a championship episode of NXT. Two champions will be crowned, and it starts with the North American Championship. Can Keith Lee tonight bask in his glory and become the North American champion? This crowd, the NXT faithful, firmly behind Keith Lee. So who else will join him in this fatal four-way match? Oh, well, General Manager William Regal seeming to give a chance to superstars that were involved in the NXT Championship Tournament. But wait just a second, I was about to announce that Tommaso Ciampa would be involved in this fatal four-way match, but it seems so is Johnny Gargano. Of course, their matchup ended in the NXT Championship Tournament in a double count-out. And the action seems to be continuing from a couple of weeks ago, but what? Hold on! No! Can it be? Really? EC3, the former $1 million champion and superstar branded to SmackDown, is here this evening, and he's going to participate in the fatal four-way match? How is this happening? Wait a minute. Well, I'm just getting word through my headset that Ted DiBiase has paid for EC3 to enter this matchup here tonight, and it is a golden opportunity for the former $1 million champion. He could become the North American champion in his first match here on the black and gold brand. EC3 wearing black and gold, and he could leave with championship gold around his waist before this night is out. What a shocker for the fans here watching NXT inside the NXT arena, and for those of you watching at home, I bet you didn't expect EC3 to be a part of NXT. But the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, once again proving that everybody has a price, and has bought his way and bought an opportunity and bought a ticket for EC3 to try and win the North American Championship. We're just moments away from getting our first matchup started in a double championship night. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on so you stay up to date with all episodes of NXT. And here we go. Just a reminder, if you are just joining us, as EC3 introduces himself to Keith Lee, that this is a fatal four-way ladder match for the North American Championship, and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are both involved, but currently going at it backstage. The bitter rivalry between Gargano and Ciampa boiling over once again. It cost them both a chance of advancing in the NXT Championship Tournament, and it might just cost them again in this fatal 4-way match for the North American Championship. Remember, one of these 4 superstars will need to go and fetch a ladder from outside the ring, set that ladder up in the middle of the ring, climb that ladder and take the championship down. As Keith Lee welcomes EC3 to NXT. Part of SmackDown. I wonder if there'll be any repercussions for EC3 for coming here tonight, and what will happen if EC3 was to win the championship. Would the North American Championship be heading to SmackDown? Would EC3 be staying here on NXT? Many questions. We don't have too many answers, as Keith Lee, well, he provides an answer, a clothesline that takes down EC3. Keith Lee, very unlucky in his matchup against the glorious Robert Roode, give an assist to the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who has helped tutor Keith Lee and has guided him to the final of the NXT Championship Tournament. My goodness, as we join Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa backstage. And Gargano just cracked Ciampa with that trash can. I think they're in the locker room area. Action going on inside the ring with EC3 and Keith Lee and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano going at it in the locker room. High knee from Gargano, stuns Ciampa and comes again. A second knee puts Gargano down, and now it's Ciampa with the steel chair and drives it into the gut of Johnny Gargano. Really difficult for Johnny Gargano to be Johnny Wrestling when it's an out and out brawl backstage, and Gargano not getting the better end of it. Ciampa putting him down, and it might just give Tommaso Ciampa a chance to make his way to the ring, because the action continues here in front of the crowd. And Keith Lee, well, that ladder has been brought into the ring for the first time. It might be Keith Lee who's going to attempt to climb the ladder to take down North American Championship Gold. Heading up to the top is Keith Lee. Is this his moment to bask in his glory? Oh, EC3 getting on his case, and EC3 driving a shot into the back, and a power bomb. Used the momentum of Keith Lee once he was rocked to send him down. And boy, oh boy, did Keith Lee come crashing down from the top of that ladder. Nice save from EC3, got back in the ring just in time to catch Keith Lee. And now EC3 begins to climb the ladder. And with Keith Lee down in the corner, this is a golden chance for EC3. He's got his hands on the championship, but Keith Lee, oh! Some payback, pushed the ladder away, and EC3 had nowhere to go but down. And Keith Lee picks up the ladder. This time he's not setting it up, but instead using it as a weapon. Cracks EC3, and the ladder now being set up in the corner. And that is a major factor in this match. The ladder not only can be used to climb, oh, Keith Lee missing, showing that agility for a big man, but the ladder can be used as a weapon as well. Stiff shot from EC3 and a second after evading Keith Lee and that standing moonsault. Backs off does EC3 and a stinger splash. Ooh! And Gargano and Ciampa would be wise to get out here at some point and get involved in this matchup. because at any second now, one of these two could climb the ladder, take the championship down, and become the North American champion without the pair of them even knowing. EC3 perched on that second rope, Keith Lee up, but not for long. Put back down from a drop kick from EC3. It's been a pretty good showing from EC3 so far after being, well, paid for to enter this match, and, well, Gargano and Ciampa are going further away from the arena, heading towards the parking lot at the moment. Super kick from Gargano and Ciampa trying to get up, but Gargano keeping him down. Oh, put the brakes on. Did Tommaso Ciampa. Didn't want to go any further, as they seem to drift further away from the ring. Maybe so does their chance of becoming champion. Elbow from Gargano. This rivalry has certainly reached boiling point. Oh! And turn Tommaso Ciampa inside out. Oh, now Johnny Gargano has a steel chair in hand. Ciampa gets up and wrestles away that steel chair, luckily enough. Oh, and absolutely plants that strike right on the kisser of Johnny Gargano. Came forward, did Tommaso Ciampa. Gargano this time stops Ciampa. Hurricane Rana. You've got to think, how much is this taken out of these two men, as Johnny Gargano again goes for the steel chair, and Ciampa this time trying to crawl away, trying to get away, but he doesn't. Instead, he meets the steel chair from Johnny Gargano, and they are no closer to getting near this matchup, in which Keith Lee with a power bomb to EC3. EC3 dropped across the top rope by Keith Lee, and you have to think that for these two men, they will want to get this matchup wrapped up before the other two superstars manage to make their way to the ring, if they are to do so. This is a chance, huge chance, for either Keith Lee or EC3. And if you are just joining us, later on tonight, we will crown the NXT champion. The winner of the NXT Championship Tournament will happen. Will it be the glorious Robert Roode? Will the Nature Boy? Oh! Wow. EC3 crashed and burned, crashed into the ladder as well. Will it be Robert Roode, as I was saying, with the Nature Boy Ric Flair by his side? Or will it be Drew McIntyre, who's gone this entire tournament on his own? Will it be a moment for Drew McIntyre to really establish himself once again as a major player, coming back to NXT after that torrid time, after losing the World Heavyweight Championship to Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania? It's been a long road to recovery for Drew McIntyre. Will the culmination be here tonight on NXT? We will find out. That is still to come. But EC3, well, the damage was done when he crashed over that top rope, clattered the ladder, and now Keith Lee bringing the ladder into the ring. EC3 crawling around stunned, needs to get himself back together, but well, I thought that Keith Lee might set up the ladder, but instead he's put both ladders in the corner, and EC3 having a think, but took too long. My goodness, how does a man of that size take to the sky so elegantly. Keith Lee taking out EC3. That was impressive. Well, Keith Lee went for the chop, but EC3 stopped him. Stiff jab from EC3. And this is not the time to remind Keith Lee of who you are. He knows very well who you are by now. Oh, and EC3 went for the knee, didn't get it, instead gets tossed over his head. Tossed over Keith Lee's head, more like. Crazy night of action so far. EC3 coming from SmackDown to NXT, heads to the top rope double axe handle. I'm just trying to get an update of where Gargano and Ciampa are. Oh! EC3 plants Keith Lee into the mat. And somehow Keith Lee is up. I don't know how, but I think EC3 wanted to use the ladder. Didn't get a chance. Keith Lee instead. Oh! Well, these two ladders set up and Keith Lee making use of them. EC3 like a pinball at the moment, being pinged left to right. Somehow EC3 has to stop this. I'm not sure how. Oh, face first into the ladder. Well, that's one way to stop it. And now we've got the fire extinguisher in play. Gargano! Oh, ouch. Well, that might just be the end of the night for Tommaso Ciampa. Buried by a ladder after being clocked with a fire extinguisher, but it might be too late for Johnny Gargano because Keith Lee has his hands on the North American Championship on EC3. Here he comes. Where did EC3 come from? He's back and he's trying to stop Keith Lee from his moment of glory. What a matchup this is, and now these two fighting it out on top of the ladder, and Keith Lee crashes down. It's EC3, it's his moment. Keith Lee down, Gargano. Oh! Has Johnny Gargano made it back in time? Heads up the ladder. Oh, a stiff shot to the midsection. Oh! Holy cow! A cutter from the top of the ladder, which money cannot buy. And that might be the last of EC3 and his chance of becoming North American champion. And Gargano, he grabs the ladder and once again throws the ladder on top of his opponent, burying EC3 just like he did Tommaso Ciampa backstage. And Gargano, well, he's not aware that Keith Lee's back in the ring, and Keith Lee set up that table outside. Gargano now aware of Keith Lee's presence. Hard to not feel the presence of Keith Lee from his sheer size. Knee to the midsection by Keith Lee. Johnny Gargano puts the brakes on. Keith Lee. Oh! Holy Keith Lee just pounced. And the casualty is Johnny Gargano. And Keith Lee is the only superstar standing. Wait a minute. What the? Bobby Lashley? Well, Keith Lee has his hands on North American Championship gold, but Bobby Lashley, who has he has no place being here. Oh no! The Almighty with an almighty powerbomb, sending Keith Lee crashing through the ladder. No way! Oh, what the hell? Well, Bobby Lashley, he was not one of the participants in this match, but he has taken down the North American Championship, and we take a look back at what went down. What a shot that was. That cutter, but then this pounce. And at that point, I thought that Keith Lee was about to bask in his glory, but the almighty Bobby Lashley, stopping any sort of victory party, taking down the championship. And this just is not right. Well, I don't know what General Manager William Regal is going to make of the outcome of the North American Championship match, with Bobby Lashley leaving with the North American Championship in his hands. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the final of the NXT Championship Tournament, as the glorious Robert Roode takes on the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. It has already been a dramatic night here on NXT. We were supposed to crown a North American champion, but now that is in jeopardy after the intervention of Bobby Lashley during the final moments of our first match. But now we must turn our attention to the big one, the NXT Championship Tournament, the final, as Robert Roode, and just look at the Nature Boy, suited and booted, styling and profiling, and Roode kitted out in gold in hope of taking championship gold in a matter of moments against Drew McIntyre. The path for Robert Roode seemed to be a simple one. He thought he was going to get a bye straight to the final, until last week, where he ran into Kevin Owens. General Manager William Regal making it clear to Robert Roode that if you are to advance to the final, you need to earn your place. And well, Robert Roode kind of earned it, thanks to the intervention of Roman Reigns, the big dog, coming to NXT, and a spear to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens' chance of becoming NXT champion were stopped, and Roode was able to advance to the final. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, having really turned around the career of Robert Roode since his return to NXT, and it would be topped off perfectly if Roode could gain the gold. However, Drew McIntyre's redemption would feel complete if he was to become NXT champion after the turmoil which has gone through the career of McIntyre since that championship loss at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Rey Mysterio on the biggest night, WrestleMania, and after that it was a downward spiral for Drew McIntyre. The NWO disbanded, seemingly leaving McIntyre to fend for himself, and it was loss after loss after loss after loss. SmackDown became a place of bad memories for Drew McIntyre, so much so to a point that he was offered a lifeline from General Manager William Regal, and it's safe to say that Drew McIntyre hasn't looked back since. He's reinvigorated, re-energized, and he is everything that we know Drew McIntyre can be about. And well, this evening we have 3 judges on hand: Bret the Hitman Hart, Jake the Snake Roberts, and the 5-time Booker T, all on hand to make sure that we do crown a champion here this evening. It'll be very interesting to see if those judges are called into play. The legends watching on as the referee signals for the bell, and the crowd roars for the final Claymore. What? 1, 2, oh, Ric Flair! The Nature Boy just saved Robert Roode. Drew McIntyre was wasting no time. A Claymore kick shocked Roode, but Ric Flair, oh no! Flair's out of here. The official has had enough. And while Ric Flair has played such significance in making sure Roode got to the final, but he will not play a part in the final anymore. Flair is gone. Roode must fend for himself, and McIntyre, it gave Robert Roode a moment to get himself, get his bearings, and get back in the match after that Claymore cleaned the clock of the Glorious One. A shocking start to the NXT Championship Tournament Final. And Roode now just trying to steady this matchup. And Roode's support, Ric Flair, now will not be a factor. Roode may have to re-evaluate the game plan as McIntyre rolls to the outside, or rolls to the ring apron, and Roode keeping the pressure on and snaps the neck of Drew McIntyre. Crowd firmly behind McIntyre, pinned by Roode, and a kick out at 1 by McIntyre. A Claymore kick in the first few seconds of this match, and you have to think it didn't look likely that Robert Roode was going to kick out, and Ric Flair grabbed the boot of Robert Roode, placed it on the ropes, and that has made sure that Robert Roode stays in this match. And Roode rakes the eyes, and our official might need to get a grip of Roode soon. He's already sorted out Ric Flair, sent him styling and profiling to the back. But Roode will look to bend the rules if he can gain an advantage. Picks up Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre has been up against it throughout this tournament. The Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong, given a massive advantage in the build-up to their matchup when the UE attacked Drew McIntyre backstage. But McIntyre weathered the storm, came through it, and that's why he's in the final here tonight. And Roode double axe handle, didn't even give McIntyre a moment to get to his feet. And Roode looking for some respect from the NXT fans, not quite getting it. Double underhook and takes over nicely. Drew McIntyre does Robert Roode. Wasn't the best of starts for Roode, but since that, you could say a blip, a shocking moment, a bit more than a blip, it's all been the glorious Robert Roode. Roode has gained control and managed to nullify Drew McIntyre. Takes up, maybe looking for a Roode bomb, but doesn't get it. McIntyre managed to escape out the back, and a stinging shot by Drew McIntyre, elbow to the back of the neck, forearm stumbles back Roode, and McIntyre now coming back strong, takes up and down goes Robert Roode. McIntyre with the power game. Roode though Very calculated, and a clothesline. And you hear the boos from the NXT fans. Who is going to leave NXT champion? Let me know in the chat and in the comments section. And don't forget, you can stay up to date with Universe Mode by gaining early access via our Patreon, patreon.com/Delzinski, for early access to episodes of this season of Universe. McIntyre back up, comes forward, and a clothesline of his own. Thunderous clothesline. Headbutt by McIntyre. Boot to the gut. Roode not wanting to let McIntyre get any control in this match. He's already felt the Claymore. He knows the damage it can do. He won't want to taste it again, but instead gets taken for a ride with a belly to belly, and so much so it sends Robert Roode to the outside. Roode stunned, back to his feet, just coming around now, and around the corner comes Drew McIntyre, shoulder tackle. How about that pounce earlier this evening by Keith Lee? Wow. An oh my god moment, if ever I was to witness one. Referee starting the count, and don't forget, we have our three judges, Bret the Hitman Hart, Jake the Snake Roberts, and of course Booker T, all watching on. They are here to make sure tonight we do crown an NXT champion. This match will not end in any sort of draw. Someone's going to leave with the championship here tonight. Let's hope it's one of these two, unlike it was earlier this evening when Bobby Lashley took the North American Championship, and we're still trying to find out at the moment what is going on with that situation. No word yet from General Manager William Regal, as Roode ran straight into the boot of Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre now just raining down with those strikes. And a boot to the midsection for good measure. McIntyre picks up Roode, and Drew McIntyre has plenty of other weaponry in his arsenal. He's of course got the Claymore, which we've seen, but he's also got that Future Shock DDT, and also a Glasgow Kiss, which could kiss the championship goodbye for Robert Roode if McIntyre connects. And McIntyre takes up and down Robert Roode with a sky high 1, 2, and Roode kicks out. Roode may be just running off adrenaline to get to his feet, but that brought him up, and McIntyre met him with the boot, but McIntyre takes a tumble to the outside. Roode taking a look, thinking about this, trying to decide what's best to do, and it took too long. McIntyre came for him, and now stunned Roode after getting draped across that top rope, and maybe Roode was playing possum. Spear from Robert Roode. Pin 1, 2. Very close for Robert Roode becoming the new NXT champion. He might have suckered in Drew McIntyre. McIntyre thought he had him, came in the ring, and Roode replied with this spear. On Roode. Roode bomb. This could be enough. 1, 2, no! And Roode questions the count of our official, but it was only 2. And Roode will be looking for that glorious DDT, which has served him so well on the route towards this final match. And this is not the time, Robert Roode. And Roode took too long. Well, I warned him. This is a championship final for the prestigious NXT Championship. Whether you are glorious or not, you must keep your mind on the prize. And Roode let his arrogance get the better of him. Referee starting our count, and McIntyre came forward with the knee. Roode sidestepped it. Referee up to 4. And our NXT fans getting an up close and personal look at the action. Referee up to 6. Is Roode going to try and win this one via a count out? Up to 8 now, and McIntyre needs to get Roode in. Our judges looking on, and they will be judging and critiquing this match if a double count out was to happen. Luckily it doesn't. And you'd have to wonder who they'd favour, Roode or McIntyre. Knife edge chop by McIntyre, who wants to make sure this match does not fall into the hands of the judges. Certainly points would have been scored from that Claymore, but shortly after that Roode had the majority of the match. But it won't matter because McIntyre wants to put this one beyond doubt. And Roode using the ropes to aid him to his feet. He's up, but not for long. Oh, Alabama Slam. Gives me flashbacks to Bob Holly. And McIntyre, Roode puts the brakes on, stopping McIntyre. Spine buster, double A, Arn Anderson, spine buster for the win. Yo! Stealing a page from another horseman was Robert Roode. Flair taught him wisely. He used that spine buster and he was close. What a match. Championship still in the balance. Both men coming close on a couple of occasions. And now Roode plans to take a risk, heading up with McIntyre. High risk, perched on the top. Huge suplex. And what's Roode thinking? Robert Roode, figure 4. Well, he learnt this from the best, the very best, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who might not be out here, but he will be watching, and he sees Robert Roode with the figure 4 leg lock, trying to force a tap out, and McIntyre has to beat his way out of the figure 4 leg lock. Comes forward, knife edge chop, both of them chopping the life out of each other. Flair would be proud of that. But Flair firmly in the corner of Robert Roode. Well, kind of, he's not out here. And McIntyre shoves Roode away. And these two now just knocking lumps out of each other, and Roode didn't want any part of that and goes straight back to the figure 4. How much pressure? How much more can McIntyre take? And also, this figure 4 could nullify the Claymore, stopping the spring of McIntyre's step. The damage to the knee is being done, and our official asking the question. McIntyre has been in it a long time, and McIntyre with the counter. Rolled over to put the pressure on Roode. He's back to his feet, both men up, and McIntyre's knee just holds out to slam down Robert Roode. And McIntyre brings up Roode to his feet, and Roode trying to get out, but dragged to the corner by those huge hands of Drew McIntyre, who again just unloads and wants the crowd to back him up here. Wants the support of the fans. Are you supporting Drew McIntyre at home? Are you going for Roode or are you going for McIntyre? You've got to let me know in the chat. And drives the knee into the midsection. Sends Roode to the corner. McIntyre slightly slow in his step, but he gets the forearm. You can see McIntyre tired. This match taking its toll on both men as he calls up Robert Roode and comes down, and that would have damaged the knee, and you see McIntyre hold the knee and Roode. I thought Roode was going to go for that glorious DDT, but instead clubs the forearm across the back of Drew McIntyre. And a snap suplex, and Roode almost playing it safe, not wanting to take too many more risks at this stage, because one mistake, that could be all. That could cost you this match. And if it does, it costs you the championship. And Roode winding up. Is he looking for a glorious DDT? McIntyre stops him. And McIntyre. Great counter. McIntyre. No. Roode wanted the DDT. He didn't get it. And McIntyre came in for the clothesline. Roode ducks underneath. Stiff strike from Robert Roode. And Roode, again, like I said, not wanting to risk too much now. You know, he went for that glorious DDT. Maybe now he thinks he went too soon for it, and has slowed it down and drives the knee right between the eyes. If you're just joining us, no Ric Flair. He was sent to the back. Well, within a few seconds, a Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre brought Flair into play, and then Flair was ejected from the match but saved Robert Roode. You have to think that the match was won from that Claymore, but now these two just rattling each other, and it's Robert Roode who, surprisingly, in my opinion, who comes out on top. Roode picks up McIntyre, boot to the midsection. Pump handle slam. One of the signature maneuvers of Robert Roode, and Roode can't quite believe it. Hands on head. Roode thought he had him. But he might do. He might still do. Teeing up. McIntyre went for the glorious DDT. The boot got caught. McIntyre. Future shock. DDT. 1, 2, and No. Correction. It was a 2. Roode kicked out at 2. But McIntyre now lining up for a second Claymore. He gets it, but instead he gets our official. Drew McIntyre wipes out our official, and Robert Roode, he went again for the glorious DDT. He doesn't get it. Glasgow Kiss. Wait a minute. Adam Cole, the leader of the UE. Well, these two had an altercation when McIntyre took on Roderick Strong. And he just clocked him with the cast. Glorious DDT. Adam Cole, baby. He just nailed McIntyre with the cast. The official 1, 2, 3, and Robert Roode is the new NXT champion. Give a huge assist to Adam Cole. Here you see how the matchup played out. Ric Flair sent styling and profiling to the back after a Claymore kick from McIntyre in the early stage, but it was a back and forth contest from there onwards. The spine buster from Roode, the future shock DDT from McIntyre, and then this. McIntyre went for the Claymore, missed it, hit the referee, and then Adam Cole hit McIntyre with the cast and a glorious DDT. And that was enough for the 1, 2, 3. And you see it there. it's official. Robert Roode is NXT Champion. What a night! Robert Roode came back to NXT for Championship Gold, and he has got it. Robert Roode now a 2-time NXT Champion. Wait a minute. Hold on! Oh my! The shocks just keep on coming. In this episode of NXT, Captain Charisma, Christian, is here. Well, what does Christian want? Is he out here to congratulate his fellow Canadian of his success here in the NXT Championship Tournament? It could be. Christian, well, this is a surprise, alright. And Robert Roode looks on. Is Christian stealing the thunder of Robert Roode? This was Roode's moment, regardless or not of how the victory came with the assist of Adam Cole. Robert Roode got the job done, and well, Christian is out here, and well, Roode hasn't moved a muscle, and now well, there you go. I thought, no! Oh! A kill switch from Christian, who salutes the peeps. And Christian picks up the NXT Championship and takes a good look. Maybe Christian wants to be the first challenger to Robert Roode's glorious NXT Championship.